our viewers all around the world. Welcome you today to Global News Echoes. Here we deliberate on things happening around the world and we'll keep you informed about things that you need to know. Good to have you today. My name is Bidi Nana. And today on the studio, I'm not alone. I have my wonderful colleagues, experts in the building to do this together. All the way from Milan, I have Massive Mac, the big man himself. Massive Mac, good to have you here today.
Good morning, Billy. Morning, good to see you. Beautiful Friday here. It's cold, it's snow, raining, or it's a beautiful day. Thank God.
Sure, sure, it is a beautiful day. Good to have you. Wow, where are our members? And if you're
Yes.
in Nigeria, if you're in Lagos, they say, are they being held up by traffic? Maybe they are being held up by
Ah,
traffic. It's okay. So good to have you here, Massive Mac, today. On
thank
our
you.
list, we'll have a lot to talk today.
Mhm.
And we are starting off with TikTok. TikTok, a platform that started from China, has been growing and getting a lot of people all around the world involved. But lately, a lot of challenges has been life-threatening. The most one this time around is the one they call blackout challenge that has gotten a lot of children losing their life. Now, Massive Mag, I
Yes.
know that the owner of TikTok said that for you to join TikTok, you have to
Mhm.
be 13 years. And in one of the interview they granted him, he said that he has a 13-year-old child and who has not joined TikTok. Now, and we have parents listen to such broadcasts and they still allow their underage children to join TikTok. Now, this blackout challenge that would have seen a lot of children life being threatened. Massive Mike, what do you have? What is your take on this?
TikTok. BD TikTok is a beautiful app, a very good app. TikTok it has a counter part, a second part of it too, called the doing. This uh, software, this company created this kind of hosting service where short videos are made and hosts can submit videos ranging from three seconds to 10 minutes. TikTok has gained popularity all around the world. TikTok has it's in the hearts and mind of a lot of young people, students, youth. Now the age thing, like you said, yes, TikTok owner said there's an age limit. But you see, anybody can be any age and still run through and own an account on TikTok. So this age thing is what they all say, most of these social media companies. But should most children bypass those things? You know, a 13-year-old child could come and declare himself 19 or 20 and have access to that app. So in TikTok's case, yes, a lot of young people are there and they are creating the hashtag challenges. They are creating all kinds of challenges. Now, the challenge is where the problem is. You see, it is not TikTok on its own. TikTok is a beautiful app that could be used for resourceful engagement. But these kids come there and create some of these things they call challenges, hashtag, and they do some things and they now put it around and tell their mates, their colleagues, their peers to do similar thing. Who could do it the most or who could do it better? So this has put a lot of young people in problems too. And some of those hashtags are not too, they are hazardous, they are risky things, you know. They could hashtag a thing. There was one time I saw a viral challenge that says if you can lick the tip of your toilet, you know, and some people were doing that. And there was also another one that I mean, there are so many challenges. There's this one that you make somebody jump up and take him down while he's coming down back on ground.
Now,
So we've got all kinds of challenges, and
massive Mike, massive
yes,
Mike. TikTok, are they not supposed to have a censor body that censors these challenges before they allow them, trend on their platform?
very good question. There is, but you see, TikTok has what you call an encrypted end-to-end kind of thing. So most interactions, you can't really have control of it, and that's why the American government, like you said last time, the Senate, the American House of Congress, called the owners to a roundtable talk, to really explain, because that end-to-end encrypted system opens also a means by which hackers could penetrate and get information from. I mean, the informations are open. The access is open. It's porous. So TikTok doesn't really have monitors, but TikTok has said that whatever people do there is up to them. You know, they have provided the platform, and you can run with it. You can do your thing. So we are having that issue. Lately, I think I hope like last week, a young man in America passed away because there was
Yeah,
this challenge with a particular drug, and he took that drug and had seizure and died. So TikTok has been having all kinds of challenges. Um, there are different types. She make it clap clap. There's this one they call she make it clap clap. It's a challenge. There is the light up scatter. There is the when I lose control. There is the TikTok instrumental challenge. All kinds of challenges. So it's something that the youths have really taken in. They are so excited to be on TikTok, but um, it's a very risky. Parents are advised to check their children what they're doing on TikTok, and also um, if they're underage, they shouldn't have that access to that platform. TikTok.
exactly. Exactly. You just said it all. Parents should check their children, monitor them, be sure of what they are doing online. You don't just leave them unguided because they're your children. I think
Mhm.
it's very, very good advice you're giving to parents there. You don't just leave your children unguided out there. It's not healthy out there. That's a nice one. Now, moving
Ti-
on to is there anything you want to say again?
Yes, I want to end by saying that the social media is a resourceful um, uh, means humanity has created for themselves. It's a good one, but some people will abuse it. Some people will exaggerate what they do there and also abuse it and use it in a negative way. So, but that doesn't stop the benefit and the good of these platforms. Do you understand?
Yeah,
For example, me and you were connected from two different continents, but we're connected because of all of these things. So there are good and advantageous angle to this whole social media activities. So people should look more at the positive, good side, and not this very risky, dangerous side of it.
exactly. Now, moving out from TikTok. Now, an evidence emerges of Russian Wagner, aiming militant leader battling Sudan army. The Russian group Wagner has been supplying Sudan rapid support forces within Niger to help their fight against the country in Sudan. Now, my question is this: is Wagner aiming militant leader in Sudan?
Okay, very good. It's the Wagner story is a very strange story. Is a strange story. The Wagner group is a, a, a kind of militant group. Okay. Before I continue, I think our coordinator from Canada is with us.
Sir George, good to have you here. Unmute yourself. We can't hear you. Unmute yourself. Can you hear me? He can't hear us. Studio,
Yes,
please.
I think he's from his end. He's from his end.
Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. We can't hear you.
It's okay. It's from his end. Okay,
Just,
so
go on. He will come in.
yes, we're talking about the Wagner group and what is happening in Sudan. Let's give a background story to Wagner. Wagner group is a machinery group. They play what you can call them in to a volatile situation. It's a powerful Russian machinery group that has played a very strong role in Russia foreign military campaigns. They've been very, very out there for the Russian foreign military campaigns, mainly in Ukraine, like we know, and they've been repeatedly used in most times also in Africa. And a lot of people also accusing them of committing many atrocities too. So Wagner has helped to prep up Moscow's growing influence and Moscow trying to seize resources. So this Wagner group has been that machinery group that has been doing this job for for Moscow, for Russia. So now in the country Sudan, take note that there's a conflict going on in Sudan, and it's a strong one. Now, but we need to also ask, why is Sudan always going through this problem? Why Sudan every time? Sudan, Sudan, Sudan. Take note that Sudan has some economic importance in the world. Sudan has large resources of agriculture. Agric is one of the main exports for Sudan. Cotton, gum, sesame seed, and some of these very important things the world needs. And Sudan has gold. Sudan also has crude oil. Now, Sudan has a rickety government. So anybody that the Wagner, the Russian missionary group called Wagner, will want to take advantage of that conflict, that whole rickety government in Sudan, and penetrate into Sudan. And that is what Wagner is doing. So now there are two sides to it. I don't know. George, can you hear us now? George, can you hear us? He can't. I think it's his audio. Okay, so.
Sir George, can you hear us?
He can hear us, but we can't hear him.
But we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Okay, so
probably he will fix it, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm giving the background story of the whole thing concerning Wagner thing. So lately, yesterday, yes, there are evidence that Wagner is supporting the militant leader in Sudan. Is arming them with guns and weapons. The Wagner is supplying the side of the Sudan people called the Rapid Support Force, RSF, with missiles to aid their fighting against the country's army. So this militant group is called RSF, and they are fighting against the country's government army. So the Sudanese diplomatic source said this to CNN yesterday, and it was a new news we were getting. The source also said that there are surface-to-air missiles going on in the land, surface-to-air missiles combat. And the whole plan is to probably take over the Sudan military ruler and the head of the armed forces. So Wagner has come in, like this source is claiming, and we had also that there are some activities going behind some border town around Sudan. So this is what is going on there. We are still monitoring this whole situation, but as at now, Sudan is in real conflict, and it's getting uglier every day by day. It's getting ugly. It's getting more intense. It's getting more confrontational. So we think the plan is to remove the Sudanese government, and like the source says, Wagner, the machinery group called Wagner, has some hand in what is going on. So this is it, BD. This is the story we're getting from Sudan, and the updates from the diplomats that came to tell us about Wagner's issue.
On 18th of this month, there
Mhm.
was news that African leaders will hold a webinar to discuss Sudan issue. Now, do you have any updates on that webinar? Was it held? Were they able to discuss about these Sudan issues? And if they were, what was the outcome?
Yes, issues have been going on Sudan, but you know, Sudan war. So take note that it's not a today thing. Sudan has been in this for long. Okay, I think George can hear us now. George, you're
Yeah.
Yeah, I
there?
can hear you. Yes, I've
Sir
already
George, can you
texted
hear
you.
me?
Okay.
Let me officially welcome you to the show. Good to have you all the way from Toronto. Please, you can say hi to our audience.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, Billy. Good morning, Massive Mac, and viewers from around the world. We want to welcome you to the show today.
It's okay. So, Massive Mike can go on.
Yes, the Sudan issue is not a today thing. So they've had deliberations upon deliberations upon deliberations on Sudan, but it's never coming to any any results, any
Resolution.
resolution. So what this present one now, what people are saying is the interest, like you said last time, those that have interest in Sudan are all igniting this, aggravating tension, and making Sudan become a real terrible country, because now people are going out. A lot of foreign countries, diplomats are pulling out. Um, Nigeria also, I think we would talk about that. Many countries are pulling out their citizens, and this is sign of real war to come. And with Wagner, the machinery group Wagner being reported to have some connection there, and but know that it's going to escalate beyond what we see.
It's okay. Sir George, let me ask you. Your neighbors, Russian, have been said that there is no longer, we all know that when this war in Sudan started, people were looking at the two generals at Sudan. But obviously, it was Russian and USA that has been battling. But now it's obvious that the Russian has come out with their Wagner group supplying Sudan with ammunition. What do you make of this? What do you think this would do to this war in Sudan? And what do you think it will do to African in general?
Well, the only thing that it would do to Africa in general is, is just basically showing the exploration of these foreign countries whenever they want to. So it is time for Africa to come together as a continent and begin to manage their own affairs. Because what you're seeing here is nothing but still the same first countries exploitation of our country's resources. What they are fighting for here is their own personal interest. Russia is supplying through Wagner, they are on war, and they're fighting with Ukraine, but they're also supplying weapons to these people through the back doors because their eyes are on the gold and the crude oil. So it's all about exploiting African countries to see who is going to be allied countries to them, who they can control, to exploit our resources and things like that. So until we wake up as an African continent and try to do what Gaddafi was trying to do before they killed him, and that is to begin to see that we can, as a continent, be a continent that will have one voice around the world. China is doing the same thing, so I don't see why many African countries cannot actually come together, have one voice, and be able to utilize the resources that we have and have a way to sell it outside of the continent. But the problem we're having today is because they have seen that we're very greedy, we're very power hungry, we don't love each other, and therefore when they bring that division among us, they conquer. That's what you're seeing here. It's all about money. Money matter is the matter in this whole situation, whether we like it or not, because Russia is trying to, flex their muscles. China is trying to flex their muscles. And these two nations that belong to BRICS, they are fighting with the West and Europe. So it's all about who is going to conquer the world. That's what I see there.
Massive Mark.
Yeah.
I think Sir George made a very critical point here. He said it's all about hunger, hunger for power, hunger for money. And when you offer it to an African, they can do anything for you. They can even kill their brothers. And that's exactly what is happening in Sudan. Sudan problem is not within themselves. They are fighting for the interests of the Western world. Now, my question is, for how long will Africans continue with this kind of lifestyle and mindset?
For how long, BD? That's the question we all ask ourselves. Every positive-minded person. Take note that this is what happens normally. When there is a crack on the wall in Africa, Europeans, the West, China, Asia, these countries capitalize on that crack on the wall and they penetrate and expand that crack. You see? So this is what is happening in Sudan's case and so many other countries also in Africa. There's a little conflict. They come in and escalate it and make it become they blow it out of proportion. So when are we going to really come to our senses and begin to work things out? It is when we realize who we are. Africans are presently, we've not realized who we are. We are still in the dark. We don't know how much of importance we are. I mean, historians have agreed that the ancient people were Africans, but somewhere along the line, they lost it. And now we find ourselves in these conflicts and making life really miserable for our children, for ourselves, and generations to come. So it's a sad thing happening in Sudan. And like we said, it's a small conflict. Now it's being blown out of proportion. Wagner machinery group has come in. Other country nationals will be also taking interest and coming in. Everybody is looking at what they will gain. Take note that some years ago it was said that the crude oil in Sudan has a lifespan of 95 years. So that means there is good amount of crude deposit in Sudan, and everybody wants that. Everybody wants crude oil. Everybody wants the granite. There's a large amount of granite in Sudan. There's large amount of something called sesame seed in Sudan. There's large amount of goats and sheep, and these are all good resources that any country that get holds of use for their own economic growth. So this is the problem. We hope we will realize who we are, wake up from our slumber, and also more importantly, stop the hate among ourselves. Is that hate that is part of that crack in the wall that the Europeans use and they come in, like George said. They know we don't like ourselves, we hate ourselves, so they will put more division and they will use that to penetrate us.
It's
Thank
okay,
you.
Sir George. Sir George. Sir George, what is happening? War in Ukraine is over 1 year now, and this Sudan one has taken off and is getting heated. Now, would you say we're already in World War III?
No, we're not in World War III. These are signs of the coming world collision that is about to take place. But I wanted to add something. Mark, thank you so very much for that detailed explanation. But you say, what CNN discovered was that through the affiliation, Wagner with the Sudanese army, they have actually gotten the rights. Why they're supplying them weapons, they have secured the places where this gold is. They have secured the rights to be mining the gold. Can you imagine that? Even while the war is going on, they have already secured a contract right as we are speaking to mine that gold. So now, what part of what Wagner is doing, they will supply the military might to protect that area where the gold is and supply the people that will be mining the gold. While these people are killing themselves, their mineral resources are being taken away from the country into another country. So this is what you are seeing right here. So already, this exploitation is already taking place. You are there fighting with one another. They give you weapons to kill each other. But yet, while you are killing each other, your resources are being taken away from you into another country. And actually, the poverty within the country is increasing. Because with all these mineral resources, and when they give you all these weapons and help to put and install you as the leader of that nation, you owe them. They can squeeze you anytime they want. All the juices inside of your country will not belong to you anymore. Now, what they will turn out to do and make you now a consumption rather than a producing country. They will take your resources out, come back in with the finished products, and make sure that you are paying them 100 times more than what they have already taken away from you. That's exactly what Africa is facing today. And we are so foolish, so blind, and so deaf, dumb and deaf, that we're not even paying attention to the future and the people that we are governing. So that's what we are facing.
That's too bad.
Now you're talking about the war in Ukraine, whether we are, entering into the world war. These are signs of the end times. We know already, according to what we know, that Russia is penetrating into many countries, starting quasi-police stations, and these places, and they are grabbing information from different nations. They are in Nigeria. They try to penetrate Canada. They've been discovered and they're fighting against them. So what they will do, they basically will bring people, their citizens, they will buy a particular place, put a few people there, and they will start manipulating their citizens within the country. Sometimes they will actually force you to take you back to your country, though you are a citizen of that country that you're in. So if we still manipulate a lot of Chinese people here, when they refuse to obey the mandates from China, they will force them to go back or force them back to their country. So now this is exactly what has been going on, but it's been discovered. So, we need to pay attention. Things are changing rapidly in our eyes. And we are heading to somewhere when it comes to World War III, or what will end this war that we know it for now, this present age.
It's okay. I
Okay.
hope Africans will pay attention to what is happening around them. That is no longer what they are saying. Now, away from Sudan, back to Nigeria. The Sultan of Sokoto and the President General Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, His Eminence Muhammad Sadi Abubakar III, has declared Friday, April 21st, 2023, as the day for Eid al-Fitr celebration across the country, first of Shawwal. Now, before we discuss this, let's go for a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue. Don't get away. News Echoes is still here with you. We'll be right back. Let's go for a quick break. We'll be right back.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. The articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions, celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle, inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment, a better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story Magazine. Get Schengen Story Magazine full editions.
Hi there, I'm Mary Keurig, and I am a businesswoman in the United States, but I'm also the Global Content Vice President for the Sub-Saharan Open University in Nigeria. I could not be prouder to work with Dr. Osita Anamika and his team on helping to create not just entrepreneurs and skill-based talent that will get out into the workforce and make a living for themselves, but also young leaders. And to that end, with this integrity-rich university environment that's accredited now, and it's just an amazing opportunity for anyone there of any age to jump on board and learn, we want to let you know about a new offering that we have. We have a global governance and diplomacy course now provided by a whole team of people that crosses several countries to put together these resources and lots of great information for those of you who might be on the path toward public service and diplomatic service, NGO leadership, that sort of thing. We hope that you will walk through this open door and enjoy.
A year ago, I wrote a book titled The Final Solution, and I was trying to say to the rest of the world that there are challenges ahead. Now, a prophecy did come, and that prophecy is coming to pass. But I'm telling you, the final solution has been found many years ago in the Bible, because the Bible simply says righteousness exalts a nation and sin is a reproach to the people. So I want you to know that you can get solutions to problems in Ukraine, in Russia, in Nigeria, indeed all parts of the world. We need that solution, and the solution is straightforward. Please get a copy of my book. It's the Final Solution by Bishop Shegun Johnson, and you can find it in Kindle, in Amazon. Just type Bishop Shegun Johnson, The Final Solution. It's very, very small book you can read within 2 hours, but it contains the final solution. Do get a copy. Not getting it is doing disservice to humanity. Don't forget The Final Solution.
Welcome back. It's still News Echoes, and we've been talking and discussing. Welcome back. It's still News Echoes, and we'll be discussing issues around the globe. And before we went on break, we're talking about declaration of the Fitr celebration of the Muslims. And in this part of the world, the timing of Eid al-Fitr is determined by the sighting of the crescent moon. And the day has been fixed 25th of February, the day of Shawwal celebration. Now, massive man. Sorry, before that, I cited Dr. Godwin from Moscow. Dr. Godwin, good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope I'm audible. Yes, thank you so much for having me. Thank you guys for tuning in.
You were a little
Hello,
bit
everyone.
late. We just finished a discourse that I would have loved your contribution, but it's okay. Now, massive man.
Yes, I call it.
Yes. Yeah, he can still give his take. Dr. Godwin, we're talking. It's the situation in Sudan, and yesterday,
the Russian government.
Yes, a diplomat came out to say Russia, Wagner, the machinery group called Wagner, you know all that, are now supporting, supplying arms to the other group of the
military
conflict. Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you have from your side so that the news is balanced? We're not just saying from this other side. What's the information from the Russian end?
Yeah. Sorry. You said who said what? Diplomat said. I didn't catch that. Diplomat said what?
Yes, a diplomat said that that the Wagner militant group is supplying arms. In fact, they said missiles, not just arms, missiles to the militant leader in Sudan. You know, this war is between the Sudan force and the government.
Rapid support forces.
Yes,
So what's your take on that?
Sorry. So the line of contention is between the board contention is between the government and the rapid support forces. Now officially, once again I repeat, officially the head of Wagner has said he's not. I do not have any evidence to back it up. But one thing I would like to say is that every military conflict has private military contractors that are always involved. It's lucrative business. So it's really lucrative. We have other military, not only Wagner, we have Blackwaters, we have Mossad. These are Western based, formed by SEALs and SWAT. They also could be involved. Intelligence agencies usually could also be involved. Usually are involved, whether it's from the Western side, from the Eastern side. What we do know, and as a fact, is that there's been lots of contact between the official Sudan government, all sides, and the Russian government. The foreign minister was there. There was a deal for the Red Sea military port, which was granted to Russia, I think, on the 3rd of March. Many see it as the reason for this escalation that we see today. So it's private military contractor could be there. They won't announce it officially, but we are smarter than taking any official statement. But making it only a one-sided thing. It's only Russia that has a private military contractors, or it's only the Russia that could be involved. It makes it to be one-sided. Many military contractors are usually involved in this conflict, especially when government forces are weak. You have more private military contracts.
So, are you trying to say that Wagner involvement in Sudan might not be Russian interest?
No, Russia has interest in Sudan. It's clear. There's, like I said, the foreign minister was visited there. He met even both generals. But one thing that you can see from this conflict is that the international community doesn't really want an escalation, even though they are trying to get as much from both generals. escalation is not in the interest. Let me say, for example, Russia is busy with another conflict at the moment, and the West are not they are not going to gain so much from escalation. It's clear they are not happy with the approval of the military base, but there's a kind of hidden consensus by the military by top political powers that there should be some kind of peace between the two generals. Now, one general wants that general to fold up his forces and become part of the military officially, and the other says, no, if I give up my rapid support forces, I will lose influence and power. So that's one of the things that is it's more like a personal fight between the two generals, and then they are using their patrons and those who support them as to take part in it. Let me put it this way: the bone of contention between two generals.
It's okay. Thank you very much for that. Now, back to Massive Mag. Like I said, sighting the crescent moon in the Muslim calendar is very important in celebrating the Eid al-Fitr celebration, and the feast 25th of April as the day. And recently, the presidential candidates of APC, Atiku Abubakar, said that we should not pretend that it is not well with our country since after the election. Now, my question is this: do we have enough ground for celebration in Nigeria? And what is your take on this date and what is happening in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. Yes, it's been declared that it comes from Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia gives that declaration, and every Muslim nation around the world follows suit. So yes, but one basic thing is this: all religion profess peace and love. Every religion. What we see in most cases are just tiny fractions. Some aggrieved people in using religion to put their own anger. Muslim is a peaceful religion. I went to a Muslim school, secondary school, university. It was all Muslim schools, and I have Muslim friends. Muslim is a peaceful religion. So where I'm going at is this: this moment, this period in time, is actually a time to also for us to reflect as a nation in Nigeria mainly, to use that this season, this period of the Ramadan, sorry, there's a background noise coming from somewhere. Okay, so to use this period to first of all agree that there's a problem, and that problem is the last election, the last presidential and gubernatorial election opened up the cankerworm of tribalism in our country. It opened up some other things. The proceeds of that elections are hate, tribal ethnicity, tribalism, and all that. So we have to own up to that. Then also use this time to now begin to heal and tell ourselves we don't need this. What puts us together as a country, what we have as shared prosperity, what we have as a people is more than what we have to divide us. So yes, there has been hot. A lot of people have been hot. Some section of the country have been hot. Some tribe have been deeply hot. But we all have to forgive, and the other people have to also begin. Accept and really stop this hate. Stop. It's taking us nowhere. We see it increasing even more and more. But a season like this, the Eid al-Fitr, the period of Ramadan, is a time to reflect and show what makes us human. Human beings, regardless of our religion, we are in one big space called planet Earth, and we are supposed to live in harmony with each other. So that's what I have to say about this.
Sir George, an expert said that for you to have peace, you must give room for discourse and for resolution. Now, in Nigeria, it has become a culture that people don't actually talk about things when it happens. They tend to sweep it under the carpets. And when you sweep dirt under the carpet, it smells from both sides. Now, the Sultan of Sokoto is urging Muslims all around the world in Nigeria to pray for peace, progress, and development of the country. Now, when you're not in the habit of resolving issues, discussing it, saying the truth, how can we achieve this?
Well, this is an old story in our country, and it's an ongoing saga that has continued. And as long as one area is being positively affected and they're getting what they want, there is peace. But when other areas are being unjustifiably suppressed and disenfranchised, we want to sweep it under the rug and preach peace. There can be no peace without justice. How can you come to my house and steal my food and take everything that belongs to me and say, okay, let's be peaceful, please? Return what belongs to me so that we can have peace. That's where peace comes from. So you don't tell me to preach peace and tell me to, let's harmonize ourselves. Let's discuss the root cause of the problems we are facing in the country. That one group of people are being disenfranchised and suppressed, and there's been a warfare to make sure that group, those groups that are being suppressed, do not see the light of day when it comes to sharing the equity of Nigeria. You give them stipends and you give them crumbs under the table, and you think they're going to be smiling. It doesn't work that way. Until you open up that carpet and sweep up every rubbish that you have put under there can be no peace, because all you're doing is just trying to linger and continue moving the problem that has been there. The dirt is still under the carpet, whether you sweep it under or not. Whether the top is still clean, you can vacuum the top, but underneath is still the rubbish that you put there. So justice without peace is just basically, it's a laughable solution. It doesn't work. So what we are looking at, in this particular situation, yes, the Muslim nation, the religion itself, they preach peace. Christians preach peace. A lot of religions, they preach peace. But preaching peace and exercising peace is another thing. Equity, justice, and fairness for all. That's what love is all about. So you can talk about peace, but are you loving your neighbor as yourself? Are you being fair to those people, that you feel like you have been suppressing for one reason or another? Because what we are facing here is, let's face facts. When the first coup took place in Nigeria, it was only two individuals that were Igbos who were involved, Ifajuna and what's his name?
Zogo.
Zogo. It was only two of them. There were factions from the north, there were factions from the south, from the west, but what happened was one area now is being suppressed. Nobody pays attention to exactly what took place and the history of the past. That's why they want to suppress history and use it to disenfranchise one group of people. Enough is enough. So what we say, if you want peace, let justice come in, before then, and then we can.
It's okay. That's a nice one. Dr. Godwin, you're a Nigerian, but based in Russia. In as much as your state is used to fighting, you like taking it by force. And I know you're not a force person. Now, they say he's an insane man that keeps doing a particular thing the same way and still expects a different result. Africans, Nigerians to be precise, and religious country, we are good with prayers. So saying pray for peace, pray for unity, for the development of our country, it's common with Muslims, it's common with Christians. We've done this thing over the years. We've done it all our life. What do you have to tell Nigerians? What is your suggestion? What do you advise to Nigerians so that we can start working towards getting this thing right? Because we can't continue on a particular road if it's not leading us to somewhere.
Yeah, thank you so much. Massive Mark and Sir George said a lot. They spoke fantastically well. and I buy into what a lot of what they said, especially what Sir George said about justice. Now, but I want to add something. Yeah, you know, there's a kind of injustice where you get used to it, and it's called like Stockholm syndrome. You know, where you are so used to the suffering, and you know, it becomes a more predictable way of life than some kind of revolution. And a lot of Nigerians are used to social media commenting, are used to making satire jokes about situations, but when it comes to the main thing, for example, when it came to voting, well, there was more turnout than usual, but yeah, there were still a lot of people who didn't like give a two hoots about it, right? The truth is that we prefer whining than really having a plan, or having or even having the will to execute the plan. And that is basically one of the things that has kept us where we are. Because to come up with a plan, you need brain work, and to execute the plan, you need diligence, perseverance, executive ability. And it's not for the lazy, it's not for the faint-hearted, it's not for the people who just, So these are the things that are really keeping us where we are, because we know the problem, but whining and repeating it is not going to change it. Neither is begging for justice going to give us justice. Begging for justice won't give us justice, or even feeling bad about the injustice will not bring us justice. What will bring us justice is when enough people say, yeah, it requires us to really put our heads together and work for the justice, and forget all the social media, not only the social media commenting and all of that, and really get down to work, put our money, our finance where our mouth is, and that is when we'll be able to really see the results that we want. I think I'll leave it at that.
It's okay. Massive Mike, please, can you wish our Muslim brothers happy Eid al-Fitr for us?
Thank you very much. Yes, the words have said it all. It's a period of love, of peace. We want, on behalf of the SSM News Echo team, we want to wish our Muslim brothers and sisters all over the world, wherever they are Muslims all over the world. And we want to wish them a beautiful festive weekend, beautiful Ramadan fast breaking, and also that all their prayers, all their requests, God will grant in. That's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, all our Muslim brothers. We celebrate with you all. Now, back to Sudan. A lot of Nigerians are trapped in Sudan, even our students. Yesterday, I watched how Nigerian students were begging for evacuation from Sudan. And they've written to Abike Dabiru, and she said they're working towards that. Now, my question is this. What is happening in Sudan has taken days. It didn't just start yesterday. Do we need to wait for our students, our children, our members, Nigerians to beg, plead, all right, before we know that we need to evacuate them from Sudan? Sir George.
This is involved. You just can't go over there and evacuate. You have to work with the nation where the children are, and then you have to plan for strategies and make sure that whoever you're sending to bring these people out they'll be secure and they'll be safe. You can't just go over there arbitrarily and enter into a sovereign nation simply because you want to bring out your people. You don't do that. So there are some diplomatic resolutions and plans and strategies that must be given and ensure the safety of whatever means you're wanting to bring your people out. And when that is granted, and you know that it is, and then you know that everything has been put together for that safety, then you can make a move. You can't just go over there. Nigeria as a country, we're trying the best we can. I can say that we are, when it comes to caring about our people abroad or in the conflict area, are the best. But if they say that they are looking, believe me, some of their children might be there too. So they are taking all painstaking processes and diplomatic means to bring these people out. So that's what I believe that is happening. So it's not something you can just send a helicopter there or send a private jet there to go and bring your people. Like, you don't do that. So that's especially if it's in a civilized country, it's easier and faster to facilitate. But a country like Sudan that has been in war for many years, and these people, they can just see a plane going on and they just shoot it down. And then what are you going to say about that?
That's correct.
Yeah, so that's what it is.
It's okay.
Normally there's a safe place they tell the citizens to go to. It is at that point that you now begin the
evacuation.
Yes, exactly.
Now, Elon Musk, we're back to Twitter. When he took over Twitter, he made a lot of noise. And he talked about giving back freedom of speech to people. Now, what is happening on Twitter? A lot of people are doubting what he earlier promised the world. Now, the social media giant began removing the once converted blue check verification from thousands of accounts on Thursday. Dr. Ibe, how do you say this? What do you make of this?
Who is thinking that? It's not true, actually. So everyone will have their own opinion. It has become a political matter. Those on the left see Twitter, Elon Musk as a villain, and those on the conservatives see Elon Musk as a hero of free speech. It's actually not true, because what he has done, taking blue mark away from someone doesn't stop you from using the service. It's only hypocrisy to make a lot of noise about it. Actually, what he has done is that he has actually labeled people who are funded by the government, like CBS. CBS quit from Twitter saying, "Oh, why should you label me as God? If you're government funded, then you should be labeled." Actually, it's because of Elon Musk that we have the Twitter files. He revealed how intelligence agency have been trying to how do I use the word leftize or democratize, not in the sense of democracy, but in terms of democratic party, make it agenda politically driven. And then the conservatives also have a point by saying, how did you ban Trump when you have people like Iran president on Twitter, you have the Chinese, you have Vietnam, you have everyone, North Korea, everyone, I don't know if North Korea, okay, I'm not sure of that, but many of the people who the West traditionally do not like and have placed sanctions on, they are freely on Twitter. And then you pick your own citizen because of a political view, your own citizen, and ban him and say no. So there's been a lot of double standard. Actually, what he has done is to come and say no, enough of the double standard. Let everyone have some sense of free speech. And if you don't like the tick, sorry, you can work without the tick. It doesn't change anything about you. In fact, you should be grateful that there's a service that offers you that to do that for free. You're not paying for the servers. You're not subscribing. It's for free. You just go there and say what you want. You can open as many accounts as you want. The tick is only for those who want to be.
We're running out of time.
Okay.
Elon Musk is turning Twitter into profit making. Massive man, just in
what I want to say to that is the opinion you said is not a general opinion. Godwin mistake that. He mistook what you said for a general opinion. You just
okay.
That,
okay.
Yes, Twitter is he has removed or is overhauling the social media because he needs cash. Take note also, this man is also into other business, so it has nothing to do with free speech. Making more money, he wants to make more money for Twitter. Twitter needs cash, so it is now £64 to have the tag, $84, and it has nothing to do with free speech, or it's not touching on anybody's freedom to express themselves. So that's what it is. Elon Musk is a genius. He's my friend.
He's not touching
the genius
freedom to expressing themselves. That's where we draw the curtain today. Gentlemen of the press, we'll have run out of time today. Thanks for watching us today. Join us again next week, 10 a.m. Wednesday, same time, and we'll be here discussing issues as they affect the world. Now we'll call it a point. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.